Good afternoon. It is November 18th, Tuesday in 2025. We'll just jump right into it. Oops. Figured now is best as ever. So I gotta, anyway, yeah. Some of the topics that I got for today that I've been writing down. You don't need to have some miraculous plan before you get moving or you get started on something, because it seems nobody gets out of this alive anyway. Right? No matter how bad things get, just realize that one day it's all going to shut down. Up here and here, out there. And most people are covert narcissists acting as crabs in the bucket anyway, right? This became so apparent and clear to me in the last couple of years. I didn't see it for the longest time. The moment you try to do better, they want you wallowing in their misery. Whatever their routine is, they want you no better off than they are. It's the most selfish mentality you can have. Because, let me tell you why. Because somebody that wants to do better, not only for themselves, what you do to somebody else comes back to you in some kind of way. Indirectly. Or directly sometimes. Right? We're all on this earth together. Nobody's getting out of here alive. Do unto others as you would want done unto you. And I say this, but I'm guilty of doing the opposite of that. The main reason for that is, sometimes I don't treat myself the way that I should be treated, which is good. I ought to be eating clean, I ought to be exercising, I ought to be taking care of myself. If you can't do that, you can't do that for other people. So, you don't need some golden miraculous plan. Just get started if you're wanting to do something. Just get started. This is in regards to all the... I see a lot of men saying ladies out here, but there's ladies don't really exist anymore, okay? There's a lot of whores out here. There's a lot of good self-respecting men. We don't care about your fart box or your starfish or your jugs. Self-respecting men see through the facade that women are angelic. And a lot of us are over it. I won't say us, I'll speak for myself. Not that it matters, because I'm living out of a car anyway, but I don't really care what other people think of me. And, that might be true for women too. However, I'm not out here complaining that people don't see me or that I'm not getting attention or this or that. So if you want a decent... It doesn't even matter if you want a decent man. I'm so over this topic. If you want a decent man, you want that long term, work on your own principles. Work on your character. Contribute in ways that are meaningful to more than just you. Yes, you're important. But there's a lot of good men out here that could use help. And if you want to chase the top 5-10% of men, where does that leave all the other good men that are out here busting their tail trying to make a living? It's selfish to think anything other than that. This hypergamous way of being, some people say that it's built into your genetics through evolution or whatever. Fine. We're not there anymore. Your constant need to upgrade and upgrade and upgrade and upgrade is only acting as a detriment on good self-respecting men that could potentially help you or propel your life forward. And it goes both ways. Men see through the promiscuous behavior. Men see all the single moms. In my opinion, raising a whole bunch of men without fathers and stuff and bouncing from father to father, whatever, has caused seemingly irreversible harm to society. It's just not a good thing. Anything in society that's good takes time. Takes a lot of time, right? Crops. All the food. There are seasons for this. building homes and houses and apartment complexes and buildings. Takes time. Once you get those things up, your quality of life skyrockets, right? Skills, education, all of the good things in life, learn how to work towards those. Learn how to remove the block inside of yourself that's preventing you from going after the things that matter in life, right? It's the promiscuous behavior is just it's momentary pleasure. You're not getting anything out of that besides like hubris and, again, pleasure in the moment. It doesn't serve you outside of that. Just be a better human. And I say that, but I'm guilty of self-destructive behavior myself. I've done it for as long as I can remember. I always tell people I have a 99-to-1 failure to success rate. I'm working on that ratio, but I think humans are just really flawed in a lot of ways. But you have to change you first before you can expect or want or desire or ask anything from anybody else. Just put your little jugs up. It's only just put your jugs up. Wear some decent pants. Self-respecting men, people in society, they don't need to see all your cracks and crevices and lumps and blah 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 blah. Just respect yourself. On to the next topic. People would rather stare at and judge you far more than they'd rather mind their own business. This outward focus where people are projecting their negative thoughts, opinions, and feelings onto whatever they're observing is an epidemic, and it's a disease, and it's very, very degenerate. Instead of focusing on your own flaws and imperfections, the people would rather project them onto other people. That's the definition of a narcissistic predator, right? If you have the time to cut down somebody else's character, or to constantly judge somebody else or attack somebody else for whatever reason, you have time to work on your own perfect. None of us are perfect. Take that attention, take that destructive energy and attention, put it towards yourself. Stop looking at everybody else because you're insecure. You have weaknesses that you don't want to face. I think it's high time that a lot of us actually face those, including myself. I wouldn't say I'm a shitty person because I put in a lot of effort not to go the other way, not to be evil, not to be destructive, not to be this or that. But I have failed so much in that endeavor. But I try extremely hard to be a halfway decent person. And I would say it's like 50-50 with myself, right? I do not put my focus, attention, and stuff outwards towards anybody else because I have so many flaws and imperfections that I'm working on myself. And we need more people that think like that. 5 years ago, I didn't know how to build a house. I didn't know how to pour concrete. I didn't know how to build fences or run wiring or plumbing. In 5 years, I learned all of that stuff. Not really of my own choice, but because I had to. So I think a big part of that is just getting yourself a little out of your comfort zone, out of your regular routine, something that you do every day. If it's something that you're very, very familiar with, try to do something different. Shift something up in your daily routine that makes you less miserable and less focused on what everybody else is doing. This is something that I realized too. I'm on to the next little hot button topic that I've got written down here. Every single time I try to start bettering myself, God throws 101 problems my way. Or maybe it's the devil, I don't know. The moment I decide it's time to get back on track, people start watching, staring, talking, and I have to defend myself. It happens every single time I get my diet back on track, I get my exercise back on track, I start trying to be a better person. We have to be some coded NPCs being used as pawns, because I really just don't get it. Why would you not want somebody to be a better human? If they're I could go on and on about this topic, but I'm just going to leave that one there. I don't use Facebook much anymore because you have all these nobodies looking at it and trying to one-up everything or criticize it or put on fake imagery at somebody else's expense. That's the devil's game. If you can't focus on your own imperfections, then you're just weak. You just don't understand. You're not all there mentally. There's a lot of people who are only nice to you if they think you can be exploited. Don't be that person. Like, I go into new businesses and restaurants pretty much every day, and some of the ones that I go into on numerous occasions, or like I'm a repeat whatever person that enters the building, they're always looking for me to do something new for them, or to say something funny for them, or to tickle their emotions in some kind of way. That's exploitation. That's leechy. That's, if you're a decent person, you're not causing harm and you're not causing, havoc or whatever, let a person enter and leave. Okay, anyway, that's kind of a dumb topic, but I see a lot of this too. I'm an independent, blah, blah, blah. I do this for myself. I do that for myself. You're not independent. You're not independent. You're not independent. I'm not independent. I'm out here doing everything on my own, surviving on my own. I'm not independent. And here's why. This society and all of its infrastructure has already been created. A vast, vast majority of it by men. This is not an attack at women. I'm just stating what I believe to be true. What I see to be true. What I experience. I don't see anybody else building infrastructure and all this other stuff that's a woman. But anyway, so you're not as independent as you think you are just because you make a lot of money, or somebody has brought you into their circle and they're paying you money to do this or that. That doesn't make you independent. We have a whole world that's interconnected, that's been built by thousands or millions of people. None of this screen stuff, information and technology and internet would be possible without thousands and thousands and thousands of people working together. Grocery stores. You can buy your own food. Great, good for you. Your car, you've got your own car. Great, good for you. It wasn't built by you. All of these little other parts created by thousands of other people. So stop with the independent mentality. It's good to be independent. It's not good to be codependent, in the sense that we want to work towards independence where we're not using other people more than we have to, right? You can kind of lump that category into entropy. If you're not doing that, then what are you doing? Because time is ticking for everybody. So I'm going to leave that there. And I've noticed this one a long time ago. I have to take twice as many, if not more, measures to protect myself, my possessions, even if I just want to go do something of leisure these days. Just something of leisure. Fishing, hiking, backpacking, whatever it is, camping, the most simple stuff. From regulatory fees, fines, rules, thieves, people making up things on the spot, trying to force them on you, parking fees, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. Let people have their recreational activities. Especially if they're simple. Especially if it's away from everybody. Especially if you know that person's not trying to be devious or whatever. On that one, I have to think twice as much, if not more. I have to take twice as many measures to protect myself. And I think everybody should start doing that, right? Contingency plans for everything. All good things take time. Skills, education, building things, growing things. This is just another one of those like behavioral topics. Whoring yourself out produces absolutely nothing of value, only momentary pleasure. You can do that for a while, but at a certain point, it becomes a choice, and it becomes a choice to be degenerate in that way. You already know what it's like to pork. Experiment with it a little bit, fine, whatever. Make your mistakes. Have a baby by accident. That's going to hurt you in the long run. All good things take time. Allow yourself that time to grow. Discipline does not come from force, it comes from clarity. Knowing what you want, knowing what you don't want. So, yeah, there's that. If you're not perfect and nobody is, then your judgment holds absolutely no weight. And you are by definition a narcissist. Your inability to continue introspecting and instead project your lack onto others shows far more about your character than it does anybody else. Self-reflect. It's good for you. You don't have to project everything. You don't have to project your insecurities out at everyone. The amount of people I've given a business card to, not for work purposes, but just to simply connect, that I thought would be a good link and never received anything back from, is staggering. This is why I'm going to just stop trying to be a steward of help or friends with anybody. You connect with who you connect with. If people don't reach back out, stop trying. If I ever contradict myself, it's because in the moment, somebody has created a response inside of me. No, I don't like that. Okay, so the idea that some humans deserve a house or food more than others is one of the most selfish, narcissistic things you can create in your head. And this is why society will continue to fracture and splinter into tribes. Yeah, anyway. Sometimes I feel like God wants or needs me to martyr myself. Some days I'm willing. Some days I'm ready to make people learn. Most days I'm calm and cool, but some days. I'm not going to read that one. Whenever I talk to myself or sing or do something that normies don't expect, they always turn and look. It's weird. Like I'm not causing a scene, being destructive or anything. Just simple stuff. Singing, reading somewhere that I'm waiting for something, talking to myself. None of it's hurting or affecting anybody else. Why does everybody have to create weird interactions over very fleeting, menial things? Just mind your own business. Just mind your own business! I feel like sometimes my teeth look weird right there. Okay, anyway. God's will and God's path, to me, is living life in accordance with everything you know to be true. That works, but that you may not necessarily want to do in the moment, but that will make you a better person in the long run. That takes a while to learn. I believe in you guys. At my lowest and when I needed help the most, I experienced the harshest of judgment and criticism. I have fought battles I didn't think I would survive, so my rashness has its merit, and my worldview is not rainbows and butterflies. But I am not an evil person. I am not a crappy person. I do a lot of things for people that can do nothing for me. And I just recently started doing this, so I've been selfish for a long time myself. But I'm finally seeing through the darkness of what it means to be a selfish person and not help out other people. It just hurts me in the end. It hurts everybody in the end when you just take and you don't give back. I was never taught how to live life correctly. I was raised by people who should have taught me how the world works and why, but did not. Just a little fleeting thought. I didn't create any of the degeneracy or chaos or destruction that you see happening to Western society today, so I do not feel obligated to try and fix it. I simply talk into a screen, and if I get youthful people to watch, I think that's great. And if they can get something from it, that's even better. And I think this is the whole point of kids. I just don't think that I would be good with kids, but maybe I have the ability to teach younger kids some good principles to follow in life that will benefit them. I think that's very important. Including violence. Violence has its place. Yeah. Just driving by and can't help but like stare. Just gotta stare. So wild. That's one of those things where people have to get their glance in. Like, I'm not the one driving by you. You're the one driving by me. Keep going. Go about your business. And finally, this is the last one that I've got. Dang, I'm going to have to start writing some more down if I want to create more videos. But if you cannot stop attaching your identity, judgment, hate, jealousy, envy, all the negative human traits to other people while observing them, you'll always be bitter, you'll always be angry, and you'll always be ugly. That's all that projection does. It creates more ugly traits in people. 1 Peter 5:8. I really like this one. Be self-controlled and alert. I'm guilty of not always being that way. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for somebody to devour. This is why combat, fighting, conflict will always be a thing, unfortunately, and why I believe every young man should be taught this as they're growing up so that they don't have to face it when they're older. The more skilled you are in combat, the more confidence you have, the more opportunities you'll gain. And yeah, you don't want to be a bitter and angry person like I've been for a lot of years in my life. And I attribute a lot of that is my fault, but a lot of that is because I was never taught a better way. And such is life, right? So with that, that is the extent of my topics. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else of meaning that I can think of right off the top of my head that I want to say. But I don't think there is. Actually, yeah, you know what? There's a lot of stuff on this YouTube channel that's very inflammatory. And a lot of it comes from moments or periods where I am not doing what I know I'm supposed to do. And that's where that inflammatory or even hypocritical or contradictory stuff that I post comes from. I am guilty of this. But I don't allow myself to continue if I know that it's wrong and that it's not making me better moving forward. I can only feel that, express it. The world might see it, try to correct it. And that's what it means to be a human. I don't know a lot, but there are a lot of people that are unwilling to do that when they make a mistake. They've got too much pride. They've got too much money. They've got too many possessions. And all of those things cloud your ability to reason like a rational human being that can build a better future. So just understand that what you do to somebody else, how you present yourself, the actions that you take have an effect like dominoes. Everybody. The more we hurt somebody, or the more we hurt another group, or one group destroys another group, the more humanity as a whole suffers. That's just how life works. There's a symbiotic relationship between plants and trees and every living thing on this earth. And there are destructive forces, or there are forces that can create and help grow and help life sustain itself. And it's up to you to pick which side you want to be on. And it is a battle. It's a battle that you have to face every day. And you have to just try to do your best and try to be a better person. So I'm going to leave this video right there. And I think we can all just be better humans. I really do, myself included. So until the next one, if there is a next one, everybody be safe and be better humans. Over and out.